Good afternoon. I'm King 5 meteorologist Ashley Ruiz with a look at your Sunday forecast and for the week ahead. It's been very rainy all morning long, but we're starting to see some clearing. But don't let your guard down. We have more rain headed our way, and it's not just today. It's over the next couple of days. What we're dealing with right now, we've had this strengthening low. Yesterday, if you tuned in to my forecast, my extended forecast, we were talking about this broad low, but it rapidly started to tighten up and developed, and you can see it's clear as day, that counterclockwise spin, and we're seeing some moisture being pulled in from the Pacific right now, so it's going to send waves of rain. So a couple of systems, a couple of fronts through the area. And to show you the broad picture, you can see where that low is off the coast of Vancouver Island and then off the coast of British Columbia in general. Watch what happens. It's just going to continue to spin, but it's going to pull more Pacific moisture over the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast as we head into Monday. And then you see how all of that moisture starts to move into California and then Oregon. And then we are going to have a couple of weak disturbances moving in by Wednesday into Thursday. The difference between what's going on right now versus then, we're going to have northwesterly flow. So these disturbances will start to move in from the northwest instead of the west and the southwest. So it's going to be a cooler rain and lowering snow levels by then. And yes, this is an atmospheric river. I wanted to show you this, but you see how we get those blues, those oranges, and then just some of those more vibrant colors headed toward Oregon and California. That's where we're going to see the greatest impacts from this atmospheric river. You see that fire hose is just over California instead of up here, but we're still going to feel some of that moisture. But once again, a lot of the impacts are going to be more so to the south of us. Today through Friday, here's what we can expect. So the rain totals have gone down a little bit over the past couple of days. So this is over the span of a few days. The lowlands, anywhere between 1/4 inch, that's closer to the rain shadow, up to about 1.25 inches. The coast about 1 to 2. Initially, it was looking like maybe 2 to 4 inches, but once again, the bulk of that moisture and of that atmospheric river is going to be more to the south, where we'll have higher rain totals. Up in the mountains, we'll start to see snow levels go down from about 3,500 feet today, eventually down to 2,500 feet. But over the next couple of days and by the end of the week, our mountains may pick up 1 to 2 feet of snow with higher totals at Mount Baker in the northern Cascades, which is not a surprise. In terms of wind, it's been pretty gusty around the area today, but winds are going to subside, going to be breezy again, it looks like Wednesday and into Thursday. There is that chance we get an isolated thunderstorm today, mainly west and north of Seattle. We've already had a couple of them around the area this morning, more so focused offshore and then closer to Vancouver Island. But the risk overall is low, but don't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder. For the next couple of days, what we can expect in terms of rain and precipitation in general, it's going to be rounds of it. In fact, Tuesday is still a bit iffy in terms of how much rain we could be dealing with. Initially, models were backing off on rain on Tuesday, and some of the higher resolution models are showing maybe some rain moving in from the south later Tuesday. I'll show you on the Futurecast coming up, but then Wednesday and Thursday, rain will generally be on the light side, likely going to have some rain shadowing set up as well. A look at your 7-day forecast, and then we'll dive a little deeper into the details, time out the rain for you. But today, all the way through Monday, we're going to have rain at times, sun breaks. I'm already seeing some sun breaks outside of the King 5 studios in Soto, and we'll have lingering rain into Monday, mountain snow. Showers look to be more confined south of us on Tuesday, but once again, some of that could move to the north, and that is going to depend on how much snow, additional snow, we get. Tuesday will be the next best chance to get some of that heavier mountain snow. But by the middle half of the week, our mornings are going to be colder, and then toward the end of the week, It's favoring more of a drier weather pattern, but that could definitely change. Here's a look at some of the wind gusts. Since midnight, it has been rather windy, but most of the wind gusts haven't been all too extreme, but there's still a wind advisory in place through 2 o'clock. It may get canceled before then. This is for the San Juans. Even once the threat for gust up to 45 miles per hour, that ends this afternoon, it's still going to be rather blustery up toward the islands. But here's a look at the evening. You see how wind gust and the winds just start to die down in general. It's going to be a little breezy at times. Then we get into the overnight hours, likely some wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour for the islands and then maybe for the South Sound. But as a whole, the wind threat is going down. Here's a look at the radar. I'll take it full just so you could see. Over the span of the next, or over the last 3 hours, see how we have this one band of rain moving in or moving west of or east of the I-5 corridor. I'm trying to get the little pointer for you. So you see how this one band is now moving east of I-5, likely going to see potentially some heavier mountain snow, potentially setting up maybe closer to Stevens Pass. You see how we have that yellow, the oranges along the King and Snohomish County line. So if you're up at Stevens Pass or you are maybe thinking about heading up there for an afternoon ski, you may have some falling and accumulating snow. Same for Snoqualmie Pass. But you see in wake of that one line of rain, we have scattered showers and thunderstorms off the coast. Here's a look at Snoqualmie Pass right now, and still looking good. We have some light falling snow, lots of people hitting the slopes on this Sunday, and we're going to get plenty of mountain snow. Now, I mentioned that we'll get plenty of it. That starts tonight and tomorrow. If you have to go through the passes, Highway 2, as well as I-90 tomorrow morning, likely going to have some really difficult pass travel. So there is a winter weather advisory in place this evening through Monday afternoon. 5 to 12 inches of snow expected, possibly some even more than that. As snow levels are going to fluctuate a little bit between about 3,000 to 3,500 feet. And the reason why that's so important, initially it was just looking like the heaviest totals will be over the North Cascades, including Stevens Pass. But with the snow levels down and even hovering around 3,000 feet, still going to have falling and accumulating snow at Snoqualmie Pass, especially since this will be overnight during the coldest times of the day. Snow levels will start to come down a little bit below pass level Tuesday, and then for much of the week, possibly down to about 1,000 feet Saturday, but most of that moisture is going to wrap up by then. So maybe a couple of flurries if we have any lingering moisture. Now, the important thing, let's walk you through the Futurecast, because this afternoon, for many of you, will actually be quite lovely. Again, we'll have some sun breaks, sun, clouds, and temperatures in the 50s. But you see out west, we have our next batch of rain moving in, and it's likely going to be after dark, closer to maybe the 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock hour for Puget Sound. You see how it approaches from the west. The heaviest rain will be over the Olympic Peninsula and closer to the coast. But then as it slides to the east, possibly some downpours as we head toward 8, 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock or so. Again, it could speed up, it could slow down. That's why I'm giving you a rough time frame if you live in Puget Sound. So as we go to bed tonight and into the overnight hours, we'll start to see snow falling up in the mountains. You see that band of just purple all up and down the Cascades. That's that snow that's falling, and it's going to quickly accumulate, and it just sticks there and it just snows. And that's what we want. In the lowlands tomorrow morning, plan on a wet commute, though most of the rain may start to taper off, and we'll likely have scattered showers throughout the day, maybe some convergence zone activity setting up as well. By the back half of our Monday, we're dry. Then we get into Tuesday, and this is what I was talking about. Initially, the models were flip-flopping, showing some rain moving in Tuesday, and then a break Wednesday, trending drier on Wednesday. Now the high-resolution modeling is showing, watch what happens, rain slowly creeping in from south to north on Tuesday morning. If that is the case, then Tuesday will likely be a wetter day. For now, we're saying rain generally to the south of Seattle, but and that's where we will have the greatest rain coverage, but some of this may creep in across Puget Sound later in the day. If that is the case, we'll get more mountain snow. You see how it's pretty consistent all day long, and snow levels will start to drop as well, and maybe even a couple of flurries in the foothills, as low as the foothills, maybe down to about 2,000 feet or so. This is Tuesday evening, so if you want more snow, this is what you want, this weather pattern. Into Wednesday, things start to taper off, except for moisture up in the mountains, but then we'll likely have some rain around, light rain, as that one disturbance moves in from the northwest that I mentioned. As for rain totals through Tuesday night, you see it's not all too much, about a quarter of an inch up toward the rain shadow in the islands, and then for Puget Sound, much of the area ranging between half of an inch, maybe up to an inch, with the coast picking up half of an inch, maybe up to an inch and a quarter. In terms of mountain snow, through the afternoon on Monday, the potential for half a foot of snow, definitely the case as we get to Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass. The highest elevations, as always, will get the brunt of it. And this is what happens if that moisture moves in from the south on Tuesday. Again, we want this because that would add to our snow totals and just adding on to it. And that's really what we need. But you see generally south of I-90, that's where we'll likely have the bulk of it fall. Either way, it's looking more promising for our mountains to get some good snow as we head into the new work week. Outside, Queen Anne looking toward downtown. We can't see the mountain, but it looks like you could see maybe the outline of it. The screen's very small, but we have some sun breaks in the mix as well. Let's take you across Washington, Hurricane Ridge. You can't see much. Rainy Paradise, we're also seeing some fresh snow. You see that there. The coast, cloudy. It looks like the waves are rather rough. And then from our King 5 roof cam, I know I said sun breaks. It doesn't look like it, but trust me, we are seeing those sun breaks. If you're headed to the Sounders match, the home opener versus Colorado this evening, just pack the rain gear. I know we have sun breaks right now, but likely going to have that next batch of rain moving in. If it's not in the start of the match, it may be toward halftime. If not, as you're walking back to the car, hopefully celebrating a win. Again, that's at 6:15. I hope to see you there. Highs today, especially if we keep getting sun breaks like this, 40s, low and mid 50s, likely a few degrees above normal. And then we get into Monday morning, temperatures 30s and 40s, likely still going to be a little breezy. And then for tomorrow, this actually just updated showing Puget Sound really not getting much. I'm not buying it. I think we'll at least have some scattered showers around, but most of the precipitation will be focused in the mountains. Highs tomorrow going to be a little cooler than what we're dealing with today. So as we go through the next couple of days, our temperatures are really going to vary a little bit, but the warmest day will likely be today, one of the warmest days, but next weekend looks to be a little on the milder side, especially if we get ridging taking hold of our weather pattern. So once again, to wrap things up, 50s will have that very slight chance for a stray thunderstorm, but more so closer to the coast north and west of Seattle. So lightning, gusty winds, maybe a rumble of thunder. And in some of the strongest thunderstorms, you could get maybe some small hail, but the threat overall is pretty low. As we get into Monday, don't forget if you are planning on traveling through the passes, check in with WashDOT, especially tomorrow morning, because pass travel is going to be tricky, if not impossible for some of the newest drivers if you're not familiar with driving in snow. By the middle half of the week, things are going to still be active, just not as widespread of rain. We'll get sun breaks, we'll get some rain, but we'll also get that mountain snow just adding up. Even if it's not super heavy, the heaviest snow is expected to be, at least for now, tonight and into Monday. But we'll still just keep on adding some snow to some of those snow stakes. And by the end of the week, it's promising that we'll have 1 to 2 feet of fresh snow. Again, that's over the span of a couple of days, possibly even more than that, especially for Mount Baker. But next week, trending to be a little on the colder side during the mornings and temperatures in the 40s. Looking beyond the 7-day forecast as we head into the first couple of days of March, temperatures may start to trend above normal, which would favor a drier than normal weather pattern. March tends to be one of our wetter months, but to start off, it may be a little drier, especially if we get ridging building over the region once again, which we don't want for our snowpack, especially with those temperatures coming up. Highs in the 50s, that would mean mornings in the 40s as well. Remember, you can always find the latest forecast, a full look at your forecast, an extended one like I'm bringing to you. You can find that on King 5 Plus, king5.com, our social media accounts. You can download the free King 5 app as well, so you can take the radar on the go with you if you're going to the Sounders match or you're going up to the mountains as well. You can follow the radar. Meteorologist Leah Pizzetti will be in this evening. She'll bring you the latest forecast details, and then Rich Marriott will be in the morning from 4:30 all the way to 9 a.m. also on King 5 Plus. You can catch him then. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you're starting your week already and getting ready for the work week, again, just rain moves in a little later this evening. Take care.